Well, hello, and welcome to WellFed Girlfriend. I'm technically the WellFed Girlfriend, even though I'm not a girlfriend. Let's back up. I'm Mrs. Smith, and when I was dating Mr. Smith, we started an Instagram account called WellFed Girlfriend. Duh. And then when we got engaged, I was too lazy to change my name to WellFed Fiance. And then when we got married, I was too lazy to change my name to WellFed Wife. So here we are. So amid social distancing during the coronavirus, we've been stuck at home, obviously, but cooking a lot more. And recently we made and posted a jambalaya dish to Instagram, and a lot of our followers actually asked for the recipe. So we thought, why not now to post a video of us cooking this dish?
It's weird because I know my face isn't being shown. Hi, I'm Mr. Smith. We're gonna start off with our rice, 1.5 cups of rice. 3 cups of chicken stock. We have onions, garlic, can of 15 ounces of tomatoes, 15 ounces of roasted red peppers, 2 stalks of celery, 7 ounces each andouille, chicken thigh, shrimp. This is our Creole seasoning. 2 tablespoons paprika, 2 teaspoons onion powder, 2 teaspoons garlic powder, 1 teaspoon cayenne, 1 teaspoon thyme, and 1 teaspoon oregano. So at this point I've got a cast iron pan on the stove heating up. I'm going to add the chicken into a bowl. And I'm going to season it with about 1 tablespoon of our seasoning mix with my bare hand, and always mix with my gloved hand. It helps keep everything nice and clean. So we're going to add some oil into the pan. Again, we're keeping this about medium heat. Chicken's going in. You want to get a good sear on that chicken. So I am going to keep all of my ingredients ready to go on the side here. I keep everything in quart containers so I don't have to think about anything while I'm cooking. So now while waiting on the chicken to sear up, we're going to go ahead and season our shrimp. I'm adding about 1/2 tablespoon of our seasoning mix. Mix that up. Don't forget to add a little bit of salt. Now you can add as much of the seasoning as you want, but you don't want to make sure your shrimp is pretty dry so you can get a nice sear on it later. We'll give the chicken one more mix through. Try not to mix it too much. Let it sit so it can get a nice color on it. Chicken's pretty much ready. I'm coming out. It is not going to be 100% cooked, but I'm going to take it out. The rest will finish while we're cooking in the jambalaya. I'm going to keep the pan fully hot and go right in with our andouille. We're trying to render out some of the fat from that sausage. And we're going to add the onions in once that renders down for about 2 minutes. Make sure that we're always adding salt in with our onions. Anything we're adding, we're going to add a little bit of salt. At this point, we can add in our garlic. And we do want to make sure that we stir this very well at this point so we don't scorch that garlic. At this point, we're going to add our celery, which is very finely diced. At this point, we have a very traditional French mirepoix going, but instead of our carrots, we're going to be using our roasted peppers. This is what they call the Trinity down in New Orleans, and when you add the garlic, it's the Pope. Adding our tomatoes, we're going to mix everything together. Well, not exactly traditional. I like to use the roasted peppers in a can because you get some of that juice that comes with them. So we're just mixing all this together, making sure it's ready for the rice. So at this point we're going to add in our rice. The goal here is to get all the rice covered in all the liquids from the bottom of the pan, all that flavor that we've built up at the bottom. And at this point we're going to do our final seasoning. At this point I'm adding 1 tablespoon of our seasoning mix. Make sure we also add about 2/3 of a tablespoon of salt. We're going to mix that all together. Now before putting this in the oven, I did add an extra tablespoon of seasoning. I thought it needed a little more. If you want it spicier, you can add even more, or just some extra cayenne pepper. But I think 2 tablespoons is enough, and you should have plenty of seasoning to save for another day. We're going to add in our stock. We are using a low sodium stock here so we can control the amount of salt that we add into the recipe. We're going to just make sure we add in all the rest of our chicken. And then everything is in. We're going to mix this all together. And we need to bring this up to a boil. Once it does come up to a boil, we're just going to cover it fairly loosely with a piece of aluminum foil. And we're going into our preheated oven at 350. So we're going to bake for about 30 minutes, and while we do that, we're going to go ahead and cook off our shrimp. Get a large pan on the stove top with some oil. I'm going to get it fairly hot. Our shrimp have been waiting, ready to get seared off, and this is something that's going to go very quickly. We're going to go in and make sure they're all flat on each side. I'm going to cook it for about 2 minutes for this side. And then we're going to flip it and cook it for the other side for about 1 minute. When that shrimp is done, we do want to get it out of that pan as soon as possible so it doesn't overcook. We have put it into a brand new clean bowl. We're going to use the same pan for our spinach. Now we're using fresh spinach, and it does wilt down a lot. So we're going to add a little bit of oil and do about 3 large handfuls of spinach. Now we want to get the spinach in with just a little bit of oil. I'm going to season it with salt. Now you want to make sure that you're always adding the oil, then the spinach, and then garlic on top of that. If you do add the oil and garlic together in the beginning, you're going to burn the garlic before you have the spinach ready to go. There's our garlic. And this is going to cook down lightly for about 3 minutes. So it's been 25 minutes. We're taking out the jambalaya. At this point we're going to plate up. We're going to be putting our spinach on top, and the spinach is not traditional, and you don't have to do any veg if you don't want. But the wife makes sure that we always add our veg for everything. And we're just going to finish it off with our shrimp.
Hey guys, Miss Smith again. I just wanted to finish out this video by saying please let us know what you want to see next. Check out our Instagram page and see if there's anything there that you guys want a video recipe to. Let us know if there's anything you don't like. We're looking to make some changes to make this more fun and exciting for next time. Now that the hard work is done, that was Mr. Smith's jambalaya. We've actually had it twice now, and it goes really well with a red wine or a cold beer. I have it with Yingling if you guys need a recommendation. And it's about 5:30 now, so it's time for dinner. Let me just try some of this. I'm gonna grab a little spoon. Just kidding. I'm classy. Anyways, enjoy, guys. You have to say action. Okay. Let's back up. So, I'm still doing this. Don't talk. I was on a roll.
Oh, yeah.
You really gonna drink a Coke in the middle of my intro?
Some beer.
All right, starting over. Just shut up.
Hi, I'm Mr. Smith. Is that creepy enough?